Growing in containers is a great way to expand your growing area, whether you have ground to grow in or not. As we get later on in the season, we can still plant items that are more of a cool weather tolerant plant. Now we have a variety of containers here. We've got more potatoes that have gone in there. We've got, these are onions that are doing okay in this container. And since we reused some soil from our compost, here is a tomato that has come up by itself that we're going to leave on because we do have some flowers, and well, a small tomato is better than no tomato at all. Got some leeks in this container. The green cabbage is doing relatively decent. Swiss chard is okay, as well as some New Zealand spinach. The fatality in this whole thing is this red cabbage that we had lacked on water. It had gotten, you can see how it's died back here, and it really is not going to come out of its shock. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these kale plants that we've got started in the root maker. And the nice thing about the root maker is you get fibrous roots with no wraparound, and that's a pretty root ball right there. So we're going to take and plant one kale in here, and then we're going to take, and what many of us have is a hanging pot. We're going to take one kale and plant in that. Now I know what you're saying, that is a tremendously small container for a kale. That is correct. Adequate moisture, keeping it watered, will allow this kale to grow. Some of you may not have a ground garden to grow in, and a hanging pot can be hung outside of a window or on a porch, deck, or patio, and by keeping it watered, it will grow. Now, you can mulch this with dry grass clippings, wood chips, sand, or a straw, variety of different mulches. In a very, very hot conditions or environment, you're going to have to water this a couple of times a day or bring it inside during the hottest portions of the day. So keep that in mind. So we'll extract this red cabbage here and throw that in the compost pile because that was our neglect, and that's what was the end of killing that. So what we want to do here is we want to take our trowel and just dig a hole in the center here for our kale. All right, nothing fantastic, special, anything like that. We'll just take the kale and we'll put it right in the center, bury it to the depth that it was in the root maker. We still have some leaves here that we used for mulch when we planted the cabbage. We'll water that in and make sure that doesn't die, and that'll be a good plant for kale, or that kale plant will be good there. Now with the hanging baskets come in a variety of different sizes. This is what I would consider a smaller size, so we're going to make a hole there, and we're going to pull this guy out, and we're just going to plant him the same way. Then we can take and hang this on our porch rail, and we can have kale right outside the window or right outside the door. So growing in containers is a great way to expand your growing area, whether you have ground to grow in or not, in large containers and small.
For more information, please visit thewisconsinvegetablegardener.com.